A very good morning from the sports desk. The Proteas are taking on India in the T20 World Cup this afternoon, a blockbuster match that's set to start just after lunchtime. Now, stakes are high, as you can imagine, with South Africa well under pressure to win all of their remaining Super 12 matches if they are to comfortably book their spot in the last four. That's the semi-finals. Now, Mark Barcher's men are sitting with 3 points from their two games, following a no result against Zimbabwe and an emphatic win over Bangladesh. Now, to look ahead to this afternoon's match, we are joined by former Titans and Lions batter Mpho Sekhoto. A very good morning to you, Mpho. Thank you so much for your time. So we are running a viewer question here on eNCA. I'm going to start with this right off the bat. Excuse the pun. We are running a viewer question that speaks to Mpho Bavuma's form. His form has not been that great coming into the World Cup. He has not picked up any runs. I mean, even though we've had a no-result match against Zimbabwe, but he also didn't pick up any comfortable runs against Bangladesh. So the question that we are actually putting on screen right now is it time for Mpho Bavuma to be dropped? We don't see captains of the national team being dropped, even though their form is bad. But the question is there. What is your answer to it?
My answer is simply no. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Mpho is a world-class player. The recent events in the past, I'd say a month or so, obviously playing part in what we are seeing right now in Mpho as a person, not only as a national captain, but just as a person. Obviously, with the SA20 not being picked up, that was pretty tough for him, and I can understand what he's going through. No, he can't be dropped, because sometimes it's not about how many runs you score or how many wickets you take. As a captain, it's about your personality in the dressing room. Certain players, bring different moods into the dressing room. He's a proven winner. He's done well. Before he got injured this year, I mean, his T20 record was actually very good. I think he's got a lot of runs against India when South Africa went to India, and he got obviously injured in India, and he got injured. So he hasn't played a lot of cricket. Obviously, adding to what we're seeing right now, what happened with the SA20, him not being picked up, obviously is playing a massive role. It's not only, like I said, it's not only about runs. His international cricket. It obviously brings his experience, calm the mood in the dressing room as well. So it's important to have certain figures in the team. It's not only about performances, but it's about the personality in the change room. That's very important, and I don't think people understand that. You see it in football as well. Ronaldo at Man United. It's not about him on the pitch. It's about what he brings to the dressing room. Obviously, the influence down to the younger players.
We have seen captains before that were not performing as captains. In fact, I want to take it a step further to say we've seen captains that have actually let go of the responsibility because it affected their performance as batters. I'll speak of Hashim Amla. I'll speak of Quinton de Kock. As soon as they got rid of the captaincy role, they started flying high. But we've never come, or rather they've never come under so much pressure as captains, as Mpho has in his role at the moment. He took this job on knowing very well what it comes with, and he has not been, I think a lot of people will agree with me when I say, he's not been given the opportunity to be a captain. Instead, we are expecting him to now, create wonders, to do amazing things in both a role as a captain and as a batter. Do you find that his tenure as the ODI, as the limited overs captain, has been a lot more brutal than every other captain that we've seen before him?
Yeah, I can believe that. It's been quite hard for him. As a nation, not only in sports, as a nation, South Africa is going through a lot, and obviously him being, a player of, I don't like using these words, a player of color, and being, leading the nation, especially in a white-dominated sport, is cricket. It's going to be tough. There's going to be questions that you need to answer on a daily basis. Obviously, your performances are key. If you don't perform, obviously, a lot of people will ask a lot of questions. And with social media these days, people have a voice. And it's pretty difficult. As a player, when I played, there was no social media. Obviously, now people have a voice. People can say whatever they want to say, whenever they want to say. So it's actually more difficult right now. But in saying that, playing with Mpho before I retired, Mpho is a top player. He's a professional guy. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he's come through the ranks. Obviously, he's done well in domestic cricket, and that's very important. He's done well in international cricket as well. you know, it's different strokes for different folks. You know, he's coming at a difficult place. We've been through COVID. You know, the world has seen difficult times, and with him coming in now, with whatever's going through in whatever we're going through as a nation in South Africa, it's going to be pretty hard. So he needs to be strong. And knowing him, he's a strong person. He's got a strong personality, and the dressing room respects him. That is the most important thing. If you lose a dressing room, then I'd say it's lights out. But if the guys in the dressing room respect you, and obviously respect you, and believe in your ability, that's a winner for me. You know, all the other things don't matter.
Mpho, I know we are supposed to be talking about South Africa and the World Cup and the match that's coming today, but I mean, there's so many things that are contributing just to this competition itself, outside of what is happening on the pitch. I mean, there's a lot of rain that's also happening that's affecting the actual action on the pitch. But I want to speak to the controversies that you've also just kind of highlighted around the Proteas national team. We have a coach that is leaving after this World Cup, a coach that could have potentially lost his job before this World Cup, a coach that a lot of South Africans do not favor. There is a captain that I know you don't want to mention, a captain of color or black captain, but he is a black captain. He has made history by becoming the first one, at least as a limited overs captain. There are so many, contributing factors to the Proteas team right now. You know, a lot of instability that is happening in and around the Proteas. Should South Africa win this World Cup, will it change the landscape of South African cricket, given everything that is happening, considering that the World Cup will belong to a coach that a lot of South Africans don't even want to be there, and a captain that is under pressure, some may believe, because he is black?
It's going to be a tough one. I think, even if we win the World Cup, there's a lot of underlying issues that needs to be, cleaned out within CSA. Obviously, we've got a new director of cricket. He's doing a lot of hard work, to build for the future. I just feel that we just need to go past this phase right now, get over the World Cup, and then after that, start the rebuilding phase, because there's also the 50 over World Cup coming up. So obviously, we've got our own issues, within CSA. We can't move forward without cleaning out those issues. There needs to be a healing process. It's tough for all the players right now. Obviously, after the SA20 draft, what we saw, a lot of players are hitting. So it's going to be pretty hard. Even though if it happens that we win the World Cup, yes, it will be a bonus to South African cricket. But in terms of our structure, there still needs to be a lot of rebuilding to be done. It's a long road. It's going to take a long time, and I think there needs to be a healing process, because a lot of players are hurt. It not only now. I mean, about 2 years, 4 years ago, this whole thing started. But we need to be strong as a nation, and we need to be strong as players, and we need to be strong as unions of CSA, and we need to find a way to move forward. That's the only way that we can improve our cricket in South Africa.
All right, quickly, our time has run out, Mpho, but I'm going to ask you this, of course, because the match is happening today. We are taking on India, the toughest opponent we have in our group. If we win this match, I think many would agree with me that we are strong favourites, along with New Zealand, to win this World Cup. What do we need to do today?
Just play cricket shots. That's all we need to do. Keep things simple. I see a lot of guys playing T20 cricket, trying to do extravagant things. No, it's still a cricket match. You still have to play cricket shots. Keep things simple and stick to the game plan. That's all they have to do. Nothing extravagant. It's another international match against India. We've beaten India before. We know how to play against India. Just play cricket shots and keep things simple. That's it.
So I'm going to take it, because I like putting people's heads on the block. I'm going to take it that you're saying we're going to win today's match.
Yes.
That's a patriot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, especially under Tempo's leadership.
That's brilliant. I love that comment as well. Mpho, we're going to leave it there with you. Thank you so much for joining us here on the South African Morning here on eNCA. That is former Titans and Lions batter Mpho Sekhoto, just chatting to us about, of course, what we have put to you even. Should Bavuma be dropped, considering his form leading into the World Cup and in the World Cup? Mpho saying no. I will reserve my comment until at least the end of the show, because I do, of course, have an opinion of my own. But should Bavuma be dropped? We are still asking you that question question in the eNCA viewer question, of course, and Mpho says no. But we are taking on India today in the T20 World Cup. We are looking to win that match so as to bolster our chances of qualifying for the semi-finals. That match is going to be getting underway at about lunchtime today. But